Instructable versus Learnable for me, I think came together when the kids were talking this morning in terms of what do I think and what the issues about that I think comes with what story the kids bring into the classrooms. I feel like they have got their own settings, their own characters, their own things that they are bringing with them, and in terms of Instructable versus Learnable, I see myself probably as the editor of their story in terms of finding out what they do bring, finding out at what points they need that instruction, they need that support to really make their own story a bit more interesting and engaging for themselves, and then them taking that on board into that learnable phase and adjusting it to their own lives and where they see it fit.
As both presenters explained to us, it's not really that we need one or the other, it is a combination of Instructable and Learnable instruction for teachers to provide for their students. It's about engaging with our students the best way we can. Even the students that spoke to us at the forum at the beginning, you know, they talked about they want that connection with their teachers and things like that. They want inspiration from their teachers, and they're all valid, perfectly valid, I think, expectations and wants from students and teachers, and it's a reciprocal relationship.
In terms of Instructable and Learnable, I once asked Martin what's the essence of teaching science, and his answer was, let kids be kids, and I think that was evidence today.
If you give it time and attention to learn, to rehearse, and what you do in Instructable, that's a list of instructions and processes and what to do, and how kids learn is to give them time and opportunity to do it.
Oh, okay. I don't think that I'm unsure about anything. I guess for me there was lots of nodding as they were both speaking. In that, I guess the message for me, it really resonated. It's something I believe in as a learner myself. It's something I believe in as an educator of kids. It's something I believe in as an educator with my colleagues and peers that we work on. So those messages are generic, if you like, that they can apply to a variety of settings, but it's still explicit because it meets the needs of every learner that we work with and engage with.
The thing that I really agree strongly with what Martin was saying about the need to be to develop our teaching such that while we're including the Instructable, we need to also deepen our thinking to get to the Learnable. My question is in how do we do that in terms of the time that we have and with the various other constraints we've got with time and everything we're expected to do. Yeah, there's a real challenge in that, I think.
We do what we can to engage learners, and we throw everything at them, but where's their responsibility and their commitment and their focus on learning themselves?
In terms of the challenges that brings, and I think with younger students getting their stories and where they're at and finding those points of engagement and interest for them is quite a bit easier because it's a lot more forthcoming for them. I think older students, in terms of really finding that point of engagement, and I think it's tough for teachers to establish a really good relationship with kids at that older grades to be able to draw out the best in them, but also give that connection and that engagement back to that point of interest. So it's easy enough to do the Instructable stuff with the older kids, but it's finding that, pushing through that barrier, as Martin spoke about, to where that learnable point is, where it is they can see it fitting in their own lives and improving their stories along the way.
I don't know how we in schools, we as a system, assess kids once they hit the learnable stage. I think that's a question for me to ask as a principal of the school. The forms of assessment, or we can give to parents, we can give to the system and be acknowledged for the work we're doing.